All right, come one, come all for the boxing talks, the evening boxing talks. Yo, look, if the conversation drifts from boxing a bit on this one, bear with me. Everybody's giving in their 2 cents about the slap heard around the world, right? Everybody gave their 2 cents on this shit. So I'm gonna give you mine, you know what I mean? Because, I, like some individuals, am in a unique position to have a perspective because I, like Will Smith, I'm a married man. I'm sure many of you out there are married. And I'm sure, I'm not even going to open up. Let me let the list populate. Toby was good. You know what I mean? I'm going to let the list populate before we get into it because I see a lot of people reacting to this. I just watched Dwyer's video, and shout out to Dwyer. I'm a big fan of that channel. If you're not already subscribed to Dwyer, he's got some great perspectives, does a lot of prediction videos, just like we do on this channel. Subscribe to Dwyer. I watched Dwyer's video on this, just the thing, because it's not really a situation to me. It's a punchline to me, like Will Smith's marriage. I would not want to be that guy, yo. I don't give a shit. I would not want to be that guy. Like if there's a guy out there, they show you a guy, like, would you want to be that guy? Would you want to be in that position? No, I would not. No, I would not. I would not want to be that guy. And we'll get into why that is shortly. For now, I'm going to let the list populate. And yeah, man, I mean, yeah, I mean, like I see all of that, and I'm like, yo, you telling me, because many of you already know what I'm about to say. You have an idea what I'm about to say, because the people from our generation, I don't know, maybe this new generation is different, but people from our generation are bewildered. Like, wait a minute. So you cool with Jada swimming in 31 flavors of jizz from Baskin Robbins? That shit don't bother you. Like, you cool with that she's all entangled in entanglements like iPhone headphones. She's entangled, right? That shit don't bother you. And letting the whole world know about it, that shit don't bother you neither. But you draw the line at hairline jokes. That shit don't make sense, fam. Like, I'm just saying, not to no grown-ass man. Like, now, I would think if you were going to slap someone, it would be the guy that's banging your wife. I would think. I would think. But, I'm old school. I don't know. Shout out to Soothsayer, Brown Gone One, Toby, Jared, Ralph in the building, Beats Nero, what's goody? Well, better than me. I could never defend someone else. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, man, if anything, Will Smith is the side chick. Now, let me stop playing. I'm gonna open it up to the panel because I just want to get people's reactions on this. And please let each other talk. I don't need 10 people up here trying to all talk at the same time. Let each other talk. Right? And then we'll get into, what I think. Because to me, it's a punchline. And yes, there is going to be boxing talk. There is. We're not going to spend 2 hours on this thing, I don't think. But I'm going to open it up to the panel. And Karma, can you fucking join the shit? Because I want to get a new perspective on this shit. But all I'm saying is, look, right? If you cool with the world knowing that Jada was doing her thing, and even knowing who the guy was she was doing her thing with, and just particulars that it's not commonplace for people to know that much about your life behind closed doors. It's not common, right? It's not common. And these particulars were already divulged. So I would think that a grown man who is comfortable having that kind of information out there, I would think that if he were comfortable with that situation and he were comfortable with these people, these strangers, millions of them, knowing intimate details of his private life, his marital life, I would think an individual like that would let a joke roll off the shoulder, because in case he's not aware, Chris Rock is a joke teller. Even if, he was cracking on this dude's wife and all of that, hey, that shit ain't nothing new. That's what the fuck these cats do, you know what I mean? Roll off the shoulder. And I heard what Dwyer said, and what Dwyer said is what left me feeling compelled to say something myself, that, yeah, like, yo, at the end of the day, you got to kind of protect the comics, because what he's doing is expected. And what is not expected is for someone to approach the stage and attack the comic. That's not expected, you know what I mean? And the precedence is a dangerous precedence for entertainers and comics, because you're essentially saying that people got the green light to run up there and put their hands on somebody, when that's the decorum, bro. You go to a Caroline's in New York, any comedy club anywhere in any city in America, if you sitting in the front row or whatever, yeah, they might come at you, but that's expected. What's not expected is that you're gonna get in your feelings and run on stage and start bugging out. Like it's a lot of things. Hold on, let me see if because I want to get some different opinions on this. I'm not one of these people that I tune out what other people have to say or tune out other people's perspectives because they might be different than my own. I want to hear the opposing argument if there is an opposing argument, because myself, as a guy who's pushing 40, right, that old school generation of 80s babies, I don't understand that. Like, Brody, you cool with millions of people knowing that your wife was, you know, like, you cool with that. So how you lose it over this? Or is it that really you was never cool with that, or you was never cool with people knowing that, and the last 12 months or the last 24 months, now you on edge because people taking liberties with you, saying shit about you based on that. Even if they was swinging, right? They swinging. They man, busting all kinds of nuts. She's busting all kinds of nuts. It's going crazy. Troy, someone in my age group, talk to me, Troy. Talk to me. What do you think? What do you think about that situation?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, listen, man. How do I sound? You don't hear that clicking noise, do you?
Nah, I don't hear the clicking. I only hear
Clicking.
it when
Okay.
I talk.
Okay. To be honest with you, I don't think that slap was meant for Chris. I think it was meant for Jada.
That's yo.
I
Say
think he was held on to all that repressed anger and all that. That's first of all, Will Smith is a brand. At least he was one, right?
yeah,
And now the stuff with his wife coming out and saying that she didn't just cheat; she cheated with his son's friend in their bed numerous times, right? And then on top of that, she's saying that he was better than Will because he's young and all that. Just tearing down the man's character and pride. And she just don't know when to shut the hell up. And I didn't even know what G.I. Jane meant because it wasn't that bad. Chris Rock has said 10 times worse than that.
yeah. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
this. I'm gonna say this. Let me say this. Right, right. The position that will see. I don't know about these millennials. Let me mute your mic because I hear the clicking.
Okay.
I don't. I don't know about these millennials. I don't know how they mind work. Like I don't. But I'm saying for someone of my age group, right? I would never want to be Will. I would never want to be Will. My mother, my grandmother, my two sisters would never want me to be with a woman like that. That's gonna put out all them particulars for no motherfucking reason. Like, I've heard a lot of things about that, and I'm like, yo, you're not gonna sit here and tell me that it was his idea to put that out there, no matter how they presented it, no matter how they packaged it or explained it. You're not going to tell me that Will was the one that wanted to do that. No, you wanted to do that because Will is always popping. He always in a movie. He always working. The man a workaholic. He don't need to do shit like that to get people to talk about him. You do. So if that shit, if people know about that shit, it's really because of you, not him. All of that could have been what it was behind closed doors. You know what I mean? All of that could have been exactly what it was behind closed doors. It was somebody's idea to put all that shit out there. And I don't think it was his. Fuck, he get out of that. Embarrassed?
Yeah, he got his entire pride cracked and thrown on the floor.
Real shit, as a man. And that's one perspective. See, this is why I'm glad you here, because we from the same generation, fam. I'm damn near 40, right? Just a year or so away from 40, right? And I don't know what is permissible in today's society. What is it that these young guys, you know, how they I don't know. I just know that for a person my age or in my generation, no, you would never want to be Will. You would never want to be married to a woman like that because she got you. You know what I mean? Like, nah, you wouldn't want to be that guy. You wouldn't want to be in that situation, in that position, and you would not want to call a woman that's willing to put all that out there, that information about y'all, because it don't just affect you, it affect him and how people look at him and how they treat him and so on and so forth. My mother, my sisters, my grandmother, all the women in my life, they would not want me to be married to somebody like that.
No, absolutely not. But let me tell you how he looked at the table, and maybe you could agree with me or disagree with me when she was talking. He looked like if Jada had testicles and balls, that she zipped her pants down, smacked him in the face with her family jewels, and said, "Open up wide, Will." That's exactly how he looked.
That's how you look, V. And I'm like, yo, so you telling me that you draw the line at, like, you cool with a young cat that's cool with your son. You cool with him drilling your wife in your bed, in your house. That does not bother you at all. You
She would
cool with that.
she would have to leave, and I would have to burn that. I would just have to move after that, because there's no way, because the spirit's in there.
It's
I couldn't
that,
sleep. I couldn't sleep.
yo, I'm telling, right. That does not, the cover story is supposed, oh, that doesn't bother Will because they had an open marriage. Bullshit.
No,
Bullshit.
okay, it's open. You could be open, but where's the respect? Where's the I mean, listen to me. When he walked up on stage and did that, I said he ain't slapping. He ain't slapping Chris, because listen, now he opened the door for every comedian to say something about him and challenge him. Now what, he gonna go around and smack every comedian?
The shit don't make no sense to me. We got Mark Wayne in the building.
What's up, man? What's going on, dude?
Hey, what's going on, man? So I want to get Mark Wayne's. Everybody mute your mics. Mark, just tell me what is your reaction to it? Like, when you heard everything, knowing everything that you already know, what was your interpretation of
Well,
that?
I didn't know too much about it until a little while ago, and I did a little reading up on it or whatever, and yeah, there's a little more to it, like old boy said at the beginning of the stream, in terms of that relationship. But yeah, I really believe that anger was probably meant to be directed at his old lady. Absolutely, and don't get me wrong, I'm no way condoning, abusing any woman in any kind of way, but this is just coming. I'm basing this, obviously, not everybody else's experience is going to be my experience, but I've been that dude that's been with somebody else's lady, you know what I'm saying, married or boyfriend, whatever. But I've also been on the receiving end of that shit, and it don't always feel good, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, my experience ain't everybody else's experience, but there's a little more to it, man. Obviously, they've got issues in terms of that relationship, and I'm sure they're probably trying to seek whatever professional help or whatever. But that's pretty wild, man. I read up on that article and I sent you a quote. I don't know if you got it on Twitter. That quote is what tripped me out because, it seems like that relationship with that young rapper or actor that she was messing with. Obviously, she put that hot ass pussy on him, and he fell in love with her. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, whether it's just during that time of the affair, those feelings, and words, they're reciprocal, man. You know what I mean? Whether it's true or not, coming from her end, I think that has a lot to do with why Will was so pissed off too. You know what I'm saying? He's like, this motherfucker's feeling this kind of way about this shit. How do I know she didn't feel the same way towards him?
Let me say this because this is the thing. All of us is grown-ups on here, and we know that ain't nobody perfect. Nobody marriage, nobody relationship is perfect. Period. There's no such thing. The only reason I even know so much about this couple, right, is because of my wife. Many years she told me, oh, they're such a great couple. I used to tell her, yo, all that shit is fake, man.
Yeah,
all
man.
that shit you see, Will look like a dude. When he did that picture, right? He famously did a picture where he like that and he's showing off Jada. And I'm like, yo, that dude is overcompensating, B. You want to look like you happy, but underneath all of that, I see a motherfucker that's miserable. And I said that shit years ago to my wife. Like, nah, I see a motherfucker that's miserable. Like, all that shit fake. So, all the entanglement, all of that extra shit come out. This is the only reason I know so much about this couple is because of my wife. Same reason I know a lot about a lot of TV shows.
Yeah, but I think I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. I also think one of the biggest misconceptions about relationships, I get it. There are dudes that are dogs. There are dudes that are one woman type of guys, whatever the fuck. But at the same time, you know, it is my belief, or it is my opinion, that she's probably been along with him only because this is just speculation on my part. I'm sure she's probably, this ain't the first motherfucker, right, that she was fucking around with,
Yo,
right?
listen. It ain't even listen. This it ain't like he the only one. What I want to add to the conversation. That it's cool if y'all swingers. It's cool. That's y'all. If y'all made that pact with each other, that's how y'all gonna rock, that's cool. But whose idea was it to tell the world? I don't think it was his. He don't need to
Probably
do
not.
that.
It's just bad. It's just bad optics, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, man. You think he want to go to the store and people know that Joe Blow that's 25 was shagging? No, he don't want people to know that, and he does not need that to make news because he's a very successful actor. He's in many successful projects, many successful movies. He was like the darling of Hollywood,
and then it's bad for the brand, right? Yeah.
And now it's just awkward. It's awkward because it's like, yo, Will, you really be letting people fuck your wife, yo?
Yeah.
So can I?
If we're gonna, but if we're gonna keep it real, right? You know, a lot of people say, you know, I guess I lost my train of thought earlier. What I was gonna say, the biggest misconception about a lot of relationships, or men and women, is that women are that much more emotional than men. I know a lot of motherfuckers that are emotional like that too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Listen. We as creatures, right? We're not set in stone. Men are emotional, women are emotional. All I'm saying is that in the last 24 months, right? Everything was everything until they told the world. Now it's a stressor behind, you know, like they could have been doing what they was doing behind the scenes, and that's just their business. The sanctity of marriage, whatever they call sanctity, that's their business. But when you tell everybody, right, it just gets fucking weird. Like, so what if you on set, couple of actors, yo, what's good? Would you be mad if I called Jada? Let me go to Quentin Lilly. Quentin Lilly, what's your reaction to the shit, yo?
I mean, long story short, bro. I just think he's been through a lot of things in the last couple of months, couple of years, and I think that his anger just kind of came out on the. It's kind of like that, you know, you killed a messenger kind of deal, right?
I agree.
His anger should have been at his wife, which it didn't really seem like he really vented his anger, at least directly. And his anger should have been a boy that thought it was cool to befriend him and then be banging his wife behind his back.
Exactly.
So now everybody wants to say, okay, well, Will knew about it, and that was the understanding that they had, yada yada. Well, if that was the case, I don't see what the need for the begin with. So that's his side. No, maybe he knew that she was doing something, but who? But the context that I remember the show being under was that had him like with him, and they was like, like helping him through whatever he was going through, and then here he goes sliding in the back door with his wife when he ain't. Nah, I just think he mad at the wrong person, dog. I think he just caught a moment where he knew he had a physical advantage over somebody that he could do that to, that wasn't going, react in a certain way.
I do agree with that.
Of people he wouldn't have done that to.
I want to say this. I want to say this. You're not the only one who's come with it at that perspective. Let me read the super chats. Damn, this is not boxing news, yo. I told y'all on Twitter, and I said it at the beginning of this live. If the conversation sails, you just gonna have to bear with me because I got something to say. Did not know Jada passed until after that slap. So thanks, Will. Bro, Will Smith knows Chris Rock is harmless. Bobby Lift says Jada is only relevant when discussing Will or Pac. That's facts. Will Smith with the right cross slap, he broken. He's a cuck. He's a cuck, and we're gonna get into why. I'm with Q on this and I'm with Mark that look, it's misplaced anger, bro. Regardless if that was going on behind the scenes, you amplify how embarrassing it is for him as a man by telling everybody. And nobody on this planet is going to convince me that it was his idea to go public. What does he get out of going public with that? Nothing. What does she get? The attention that she don't get in her acting career. Because let's not pretend that Jada is on the level of Will. No, come on, be like, let's stop.
For sure, not anymore. For sure, not anymore.
There was a time when they was, but not because Will was always mad successful. He been successful since forever, bro. Since Independence Day, since Men in Black, since Wild Wild. Like he been making movies that always do good at the box office. Feel me? So he don't need to do these kind of weird, dysfunctional things to get talked about. Nah, he's in movies all the time. Fuck, he don't need to do this shit. He just he was just in a very successful movie where he played Venus and Serena father. Do you honestly think he need to sit around talking about his most personal shit to get attention? No, that was her idea. The red table, all that goofy bird ass shit. I'm just straight talking. I think Jada is a bird and he married a bird, and that's what he get for marrying a bird. That's what I think. That's a bird. She's a bird. That's just what I think. Jay,
I think really it just comes to a point where it's like, is it even beneficial for him to be in that situation with her anymore? Because it just seems like every time something comes up about Jada, it's negative on his end. It makes him look bad. And like, this ain't the first time, and it's certainly not going to be the last time if things continue down this road. It's like there's always something. There's always going to be the Tupac jokes. There's always going to be this all Alcina thing. Not is going to be this. It's like it never ends. Like when it comes to their relationship, like, is this really beneficial for him anymore?
Well, you know what they say.
Obviously not, but it's a business, right? He don't want her to take out his shit, I'm sure, you know.
But it's cheaper to keep her sometimes, bro. That's the other angle. It's cheaper to keep her. You get a divorce, watch, he gonna end up like Shane Mosley. He fucking for those of y'all that wanted to hear some boxing shit, right? Shane Mosley is a boxer.
Yeah.
He went through a divorce.
She took him to the cleaners for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look at Dr. Dre and his recent, he had a long time marriage. He did, Dr. Dre. He very recently got a divorce, and look at how that ended up. The way it break down, it might be cheaper for Will to keep her, but I don't think for a second that it was his idea in any way, shape, or form to make so many particulars of their life at home public. What the fuck does he get out of that? Not a goddamn thing. And if you want my honest opinion, not only do I think it was her idea, I think she want to destroy that man, because it ain't no way you sitting there with a conscience and you think this is a good idea. Do you know
That's exactly what I thought.
She want to destroy that. Like, you want my psychic Capricorn powers tell me, she hate that dude. She hate that. You not acting on his behalf as his other half or his protector, because y'all supposed to protect each other. You get married to somebody, you look out for her, she look out for you, y'all build together, ideally, right? Well, you not looking out for him. I can see that fucking shit. How? What the fuck do you do that looks out for him? I don't see it.
So yeah, I wanted to chime in on this thing, and it's like when I first saw the clip, right? It was rather uncomfortable, really. I mean, that shit really took me off guard, and that should never happen in a war show. Never seen that, especially the Oscars. Let me say this: Hollywood is one of the most revered institutions in American life, man. And to see that shit play out like that, it's like, yeah, it turned reality on its head. And it's like, you got to remember, these are actors, right? And Hollywood is undergone a lot of fucking scandal, man. And you need something like that to keep the shit relevant, to keep that award show's format relevant. So you're gonna. One of the funny things I read about yesterday is that my friend wrote that, the only time I get notified the Oscars when I heard that it got the lowest ratings, and that's the truth. Nobody gives a fuck about this award shows. So like,
but all right, let me address that theory, right? Because this is my problem with that theory. Will Smith is gonna embarrass himself or make himself a social pariah to save the Oscars?
If he knew that he wasn't gonna win that award, he wouldn't have done that. I just saw a video about that whole thing from a third perspective, and it's like a slow video breakdown of it, like looking at their body language and all that stuff. I thought Will laughed at the joke, and then he saw Jada's face, and then that's when MK Ultra kicked in. You know, it got bug broken and just started wailing on fucking Chris Rock. So I'm just putting it out there. You know.
So let me say this, right? I'm gonna go with your theory. Right? That the shit fake. So your plan to look like a tough guy makes you look like an even bigger cuck. Like you look like a cuck, bro. Like you look like if Leonardo DiCaprio say, "Yo, I could watch, I could shag Jada while you watch." You the type of cat that say,
yeah. I mean, but then you got ladies that be be standing that shit like, oh, that's oh, that's my man right there. Like I hope they like like it's crazy. But I just think I just look at it as like, yo, there's no right or wrong in this situation. Everybody's okay. Like I had no idea that Jada's Pinkett Smith had fucking alopecia, and you know what? It made no fucking difference. The joke was fucking tame as fuck anyway. It was harmless.
Listen,
so it's like,
yo,
I look at this thing as just a spectacle, and we're all talking about it.
The other thing I think dudes got to look at too is like,
damn,
how do we know that Chris Rock even knew that?
We don't.
Like, how do we know if he knew or didn't know? Like, what if he genuinely thought like she just like shaved her head because she thought it was a hot style? Like, what if that's what he was thinking going into the situation? Like, that's the problem with people like reacting to comedians and kind of critiquing the things that they say or the things that they don't say. It's like everybody gets joked on by comedians. Yep. Gay people, straight people, people with short hair, fat people, skinny people, drug addicts. Everybody gets joked on by comedians. So now all of a sudden we got this list of things that's like an unwritten rule of stuff you're not supposed to say. Michael Jackson got talked about like months after he died for messing with kids, but we can't talk about that. Like, come on.
I'm glad you said that, Q, because for the longest time, they used Michael Jackson's situation as the butt of jokes, even though there's nothing funny about. Like in the greater scheme of things, what he was being accused of, there's really not a lot of comedy in that. But people used it in their sketches. They used it in their sets as a punchline. So that's cool. But stay off of Jada Hairline. Don't say nothing about Jada Hairline. We can
the irony of that joke though. Does anybody even remember what the plot to the movie G.I. Jane was? It's about a woman like trying to join the Navy SEALs, which has never happened in real life in its history. So it tells you right there, like, yo, there's female empowerment in there, and it's like, I looked at it as very PC, as a PC joke.
Every joke that they tell now, like long gone are the days of Richard Pryor and George Carlin and Eddie Murphy and just great comics. Those days is like we're passing. Like I ain't going front though. I do think Dave Chappelle is the last great comic in the industry, and I'm not gonna argue about that. The shit he say is hilarious to me. I'm a big Dave Chappelle fan as far as stand up. Everybody else is no, but Dave is off limits. But it's like those were the last great comics, and nothing was off limits with those guys. Nothing was off limits. Whereas now it's like the precedents that you set, and you don't realize not that this is bigger than you going up there and doing that, because that's going to be the door when people see these cucks. So like he stood up for his man. Shut the fuck up. He ain't stood up for shit. Motherfucker got her bent over in the next room banging her out. Fuck is you talking about? Really, you shouldn't even be married to her. Y'all should be dating. For the way y'all live, y'all should be dating.
And let me add this, right? People that are actually sad for Chris Rock, bro, like, oh, he's a hero. Like, yo, bro, relax. You acting like he got shot. Like, come on, man. He rolled that shit and took it on the chin. It's like, okay. Moved on.
Let me address this. The only reason is I hate pigeonhole shit, right? Like when Wilder pigeonholed Radio Raheem, I never liked that shit. I never respected that shit. Why? Radio Raheem is an interviewer. He's asking you rhetorical questions because it's his job to get your answer. But you chose to snap on him. Like, why you snapping on? Oh, so you could snap on a humble reporter, on a humble trying to make his bread. You could spaz out on him, but let it be somebody else. You ain't gonna spaz out on them, right? Bang. How does that pertain to this? You pigeonholing Chris Rock, because if that would have been Mike Tyson up there telling that same joke, you not gonna go
he walking off, bro. He ain't saying nothing.
You ain't gonna say nothing,
I take it one further, dog. I take it one further. Even if it wasn't a professional fight, even if it was just somebody like The Rock, he wouldn't have done nothing to The Rock.
He wouldn't have done nothing.
He wouldn't have done nothing, dog. He didn't want that fight.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I say I don't respect the pigeonholing. Now he know Chris Rock, skinny, slinky cat. He not a fighter. He said he's not a fighter. You know, like his brother was the guy that was soft shit for him. Because I remember Chris Rock stand up when it was actually good. I never thought he was really that great, but I remember some of his prime stand up. He talked about it, like you're not a fighter. You're not a fighter. His brother was really more tougher than him and all that extra shit. So I'm like, yo, yeah, you could get up there and smack Chris. You ain't gonna get up there and smack Mike if he say that shit. You not. You ain't gonna smack Dwayne Johnson if he say that shit. So let's stop the cap. Let's stop the cap and virtue signaling.
Yo, Jules, can I get my take right
quick? Go ahead.
First off, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday.
Pretty good, man.
Good, man. Thanks for asking.
I'm not gonna smack Steve Harvey either.
Hell, yo, Steve a Capricorn. He'll fucking beat the shit out of him, B.
I'm just playing like, I mean, just, oh God, Jules, stop. Because like, first off, like, all right, it was crazy. I just take a short nap. Like, I wake up, Will Smith slapped the shit out of him. I'm like, what the hell? Then like I dig in, I find out what's going on, what's happening. And just my take on it is like, when you come from like, you know, when you've achieved a certain status, and you know, in Hollywood, or just you know, just you plateaued at a certain level, you don't do no shit like that on live television. I mean, even if it was staged. I mean, come on now. Because Virtuoso touched on a point that I was going to say. It's like, as I saw the clip, it's like, so you have all this energy and you laughing with the crowd at her expense, but then when you glance over and she's not on that, now you want to go all hardcore and get up and do something about it. But bro, you was just laughing like 5 minutes ago. You thought it was funny too, and now instead of winning the Oscar. Let me ask this question. Like, what's he gonna be remembered for now? Winning the Oscar, slapping the shit out of somebody?
No. See, it's not even. Yo, the funny shit is for me. It's not that you slapped them. It's not that. But the shit that really got my attention about the whole thing is how opportune it was. Oh, so you got that energy for a little old comedian, but you don't got that energy for the dude that in real life is fucking your wife. In real life. You don't got that energy for him, though, right? That
shit. What's funny? You know what's funny?
Let me say this. Because I was just talking to I think a cat on Twitter, and I'm like, listen, that shit he did is not relatable to no grown ass. No, it's not. It's not relatable in any way, shape, or form to no grown ass man. Like, nah. If you not mad that this kid is fucking your wife in your house, how the fuck you gonna get mad at hairline jokes? Make that shit make sense. What it really is you are mad that shit is out there. You are mad, but you couldn't do nothing about it, so you gonna take it out on this guy. That's what you're doing.
No, but I was gonna say, like, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, because I just got a funny feeling that, like, if he ever came, like, let's just say if it was August up there, or just I got a feeling he wouldn't walk up to August and if I slap him in the face. I mean, he'll do that to anybody else but the dude who's actually, you know, laying pipe and going to work. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like anybody else.
Go ahead.
Yo, man, and I just looked this up just because I wanted to make sure before I said anything about this. But this condition she has is non-life threatening, number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, it's not something that can lead to any kind of other non-life threatening diseases or issues. So that just takes me back to one thing, bro. How many times have people ever messed with LeBron about his hairline?
Exactly.
Kobe about his hairline.
Exactly.
Jordan about his hairline. Saying, oh, you got all these skills. The one thing you ain't got is no hairline. Like, come on, bro. Like, if we can't talk about people just losing their hair in a non-life-threatening condition, like, come on.
Listen, yeah. I want.
Let
me say this. You got people that are acting like it was so dope that Will defended his wife, but never mind that his wife was literally getting fucked in Will's house. On like, it don't make sense. Like, oh, he stood up for his wife. Ooh, like, bro, what? Like, huh? Like, that shit don't make no sense, yo.
Like 6 months ago, they did an interview with him and her at some other award show. I can't remember what it was for. I just saw a clip of it. And like the interviewer asked a question and was like, oh, so like we don't have any more entanglements, are we? And literally all Jada did was sit there and laugh.
This is what
she ain't defend him. She ain't go off on the interviewer. She ain't say nothing but laugh.
she has turned their marriage into, and I'm going to say she, because listen, like I said, no man on this earth is going to convince me that it was his idea to air out their dirty laundry. That was not him. That was her 100%, right? So on that premise, right? On that premise, it's like, you're not going to convince me that you didn't do this out of animosity. You don't want to be with this guy. You're angry that you really can't leave him and do better, because realistically, you're not going to do better. Like, nah, you're not. You're not. Real shit. You're not going to do better than that guy. That dude is well successful, workaholic, generational talent. Bro, he's been around since I was a child. He's like a generational talent. All right. So that being said, I believe she hates that dude. And I believe that all of that shit is to destroy that dude, destroy his image. That's what I believe is at the heart of that shit. Motherfucker not gonna convince me otherwise.
There's no telling what she said to him between that joke being, shut off and then him going up there on that stage. You know what I mean?
It ain't. We don't know what she told that dude. You better get up there and defend me.
Shit.
You
That's
better
what kind of made
defend
me
me.
think like maybe this is fake. Cause like when I first saw the clip, they showed him like laughing, and then he kind of like side-eyed to her to see if she was laughing, and then she was just shaking her head. And then like 10 seconds later, you can hear Chris Rock saying, "Uh-oh," and that's right when I assume he got up to start walking towards him. My thing with Chris Rock is dog, he better than me, because I would have had to square up on dude. He wasn't just gonna sit there and slap me and I'm just standing there, bro. I would have had to duck or something.
Listen, being real, right? I think Chris was like, because Chris is not a fighter, and I let's say this: everybody not a fighter, so it's all right. It's all right if he don't want to throw hands, because that's not who he is, right? Some people ain't fighters. It is what it is. But what's wrong about it is, yo, dog, you got wild people making fun of you in worse ways than Chris Rock, and you don't do nothing to them. So why you gonna do him like that? Why you gotta do Chris like that? That lady, I seen that clip you talking about. She's like, ain't no up do that person, I should say. They said some shit about the entanglements. You ain't wild out, or is it that you got sick of that shit? You sick of people using your name any kind of way. You sick of people using your home situation as a punchline, and you finally snap. That's what I think it is. He's just sick of that, because the whole 24 months or the whole 12 months or whatever it is, that's what it has been. They've been making fun of his home life, saying slick shit. I think that's what got to him. Too many
That's
people.
exactly what happened.
But that joke had to be the one that broke the camel's back, man? Like, come on, man. That had nothing to do with that fucking innuendo shit.
Nah, but that's the one dude he could slap that he know ain't nothing really gonna happen. That's
Listen
why.
to me.
Go ahead, Troy.
Listen to me. He ain't slapping Godfrey. He's not gonna slap Steve Harvey.
Nope.
Hell, I don't even think he'll slap Cat Williams.
He won't slap Dave
But-
Chappelle. Nah, he'll slap Cat. He'll slap Cat, because Slap got beat up. Cat got beat up by a motherfucker 12, yo. He'll slap Cat.
Yeah, he did.
No, he might slap him, but but then they got to worry about getting home. He better check under his car or something. But
No,
yeah,
I'm gonna say Cat. I think Cat will shoot him if you want my I think yeah, Cat. If somebody will shoot Will for that shit, it'll be Cat. If he got the little toolie, he'll shoot Cat. I mean, he'll shoot Will.
I give you a perfect example. If that was George Lopez, does he get slapped?
No.
Thank you very much.
No, honest to God, I don't. If it's Dave Chappelle, I don't think he gets slapped. If you want my Dave, not little B. Dave, not little B. He ain't some slinky little. You just gonna do that. Dave.
If Patrice O'Neal would have been alive, he would not fuck with him.
And the whole world is waiting for Dave Chappelle right now to give his 2 cents. Don't lie. Everybody waiting for Dave to say something, because
Everybody gonna be waiting for Chris.
Nah, Chris is embarrassed. We know what
he's still touring. Trust me. I don't think he's shameless really about this whole thing.
Let me read the
charges.
Let me see the super chat. Mr. D-Loke says Cucktales sings like DuckTales. That's what it is. It's Cucktales. Life of a Cuck. The actor that played G.I. Jane cheated on her husband for a younger dude also. I think that's what pissed Will off. I think it's not even that. I think it's that people know that it's people knowing that's bothering him. Dave Chappelle is the GOAT right now. Yeah, he's one of the best comics, because I'm real big on comedy. He's one of the best comics of the postmodern era. His stand-up is still funny years after. It's still funny. The jokes are not dated. Like a lot of comics, their jokes are dated. His jokes are still good. Like I put him up there with Cosby and Pryor and Carlin. Those is like legendary comics. I put him up there with them guys. Jada was laughing at Will's expense when they was making entanglement jokes about it on the red carpet, but get pissed at a hair joke. Yeah, Will is a cuck, bro. Will is a cuck. He's a fucking
Hancock.
Hancock.
Oh my God.
Let me say this before I go back on mute, and I don't say this lightly because I have a lot of respect for women. But she's the two things, that your mama warned you about. She a hoe and she a home wrecker.
I agree with that.
And that's how I feel.
I agree with that. Like, look, I got my mother, grandmother, two sisters, right? When I was a child, they would tell me about like, yo, stay away from broads like that. You know what I mean? Don't have no broad out here. Don't let no broad have you out here looking crazy. Protect yourself. That's what my two sisters, my mother and my grandmother put in me. Like, nah, don't be letting it's broads out here. They'll try to make you look crazy out here and destroy you. Don't let them do that. That's what the women in my life told me, right? So I look at him and his wife, and I'm like, see, that's the type of chick they was telling me this. Like, nah, you ain't gonna drag my name in the fucking mud. Fuck out of here. That shit is wild to me because he's a very successful guy and he was squeaky clean. He was a squeaky clean guy. You know what I mean? He was a guy that he don't be in no shit. He don't get in no trouble. All the awkwardness and strangeness in association with his name is associated to her. It's not because he don't be wilding. Like he don't be in no. He's not, like at least not on the surface. He's not coming apart at the seams like Kanye West. He's not having a nervous breakdown like Martin Lawrence. He was cool, just, doing what he was doing. And private life is for private. It's not for public. Whatever y'all had going on, that's for y'all. That's not for the world. Who decided that should be for the world? Come on, B. Come on.
Jules, it's funny that you mentioned that. You brought that up because, like, I was thinking about that myself because I'm like, wait a minute, he did that on live TV and he wasn't removed. I mean, they booted Kanye for the shit he did to Taylor Swift years ago.
Yeah.
so it's like,
But maybe also security didn't want to throw hands with Will because they know he played Ali. They probably figured he could box a little bit. Like, yo, you don't hit that hard, but he got a good jab. So
we all know he got that Mount Najee power, like everybody's saying on Twitter. So,
yeah, right.
I think it's kind of interesting the dynamic behind it too, because it's like, okay, if he would have ran up on a woman like that for making a joke that offended him, they would have removed him quick. They would have got him up off stage. They would have been crucifying him like real quick. But because he slapped another dude, it's like, it's cool. He just protecting his wife. Like, is it cool?
Well,
listen, why you think? No, listen. One. Let's say this, right? They're trying to turn this into a sanctity of marriage. He defended his wife. Well, what the fuck was his wife doing when it comes to that? When they was shagging, like. Don't make this about marriage. Don't. It's not about marriage, all right?
People have to understand that these are people that are not with that trad shit. They're not with the traditional shit. Like Hollywood can be, Hollywood lifestyle can be very bohemian, very out there, postmodern and shit like that. And it's like it just got exposed. And it's like, look, it's bad for them because you're dealing with a huge population that are still like conservative, that hold them to a certain standard,
Look. This is where I just like to point out the inconsistencies. We're at a time where there's a lot of talk of equality among the sexes. There's a lot of talk about that, right? And there's a lot of talk about the patriarchy and how traditional things, they maybe don't have a place in modern society. It's them same motherfuckers. He protecting his wife. From what? Some jokes? Some jokes? She don't need protection from homeboy Schlong, though. She don't need protection from that. But she need protection from Chris Rock? Come on, B. Cut the shit. Shit is well out here, B. I don't feel sorry for Chris. I feel sorry for Will. That dude is coming apart at the seams, bro. When you becoming violent in a public place, like I like Chris. Look, that's the risk you run when you tell them jokes. I kind of look at it as, you know what? At least once, something gonna happen. Somebody not gonna like it. Maybe they're gonna heckle you. Maybe they're going to tackle you. Something going to happen because, jokes hit a nerve. Not everybody has thick skin. Not everybody could take a joke. So for you, it's not pity for you. is pity for this guy, because yo, that dude is falling apart, dog. You can see, like, you can, if you look at, you can see that, like, yo, that dude is not happy, bro. How the fuck could he be? With everybody,
because like because what's crazy to me is like y'all know Ricky Gervais, right? Like all the shit he says at the Golden Globes, bro. I'm surprised he wasn't bum rushed a long time ago.
Yeah,
you know,
he said a lot of shit.
I mean, bro, even with the Mel Gibson shit, I'm surprised he wasn't assaulted. I mean, they had his ass back 5 times.
Yeah,
hosting that fucking show. I thought he was done after the first year. I'm like, oh, they ain't inviting him to his ass back. Like, it's a wrap for that dude. I mean, yeah.
It's just that you can't spend all this time on these post-contemporary sentiments, and then all of a sudden, let's go back to the chivalry. Oh, he's protecting his wife, family. Like, are you guys joking? Like, you gotta be joking. You gotta be like, what?
Could you blow up my profile pic?
Hold on, I got you. Bro, this shit, now we ain't even got to do that. We got it right here.
Yeah.
Hey,
like, yo. What is the post? We got it right here. Like, yo, you wilding. Like, yo, you not the poster child for good. Like, listen, man, what you need is a good old divorce and some new pussy. All right, you need to leave that broad in the past. You should have been left that broad in the past. I'm sorry. Like, I always feel like, yo,
they made for each other.
They not. They not.
They're gonna stay together. They're gonna stay together.
That don't mean that don't mean they made for each other though. Like, yo, you do deserve better than that. Like, nah, you trying to turn this broad into a housewife, and you getting what that gets you, yo. Like, yeah, you getting what that gets you, bro. You need to trade up, man. Amir Khan just woke up from the slap. Everybody hates Chris. I dig it. Like he's a cuck, bro.
Yo, on another note, that's a good ass show, dog. That's one of the most underrated shows I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was a great show. I ain't even going front. Everybody hates Chris. Very Julius. I remember the dad name was Julius. I always had a lot of fun with that. Terry Cruz's name in the show was Julius. Always found that very funny. Very conservative with $1, as am I. But yeah, man, it's just a silliness, bro. Like, it's goofy shit. Like the way society is now and the shit they gravitate towards is so dysfunctional. Because if you actually care about these two people's marriages, not that I think you should, because I don't care about their marriage, but it's weird to hear people say, "Oh, he defended his wife," knowing what we know about these people. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man.
You know who it is saying? It's probably PC and Me Too supporters mostly saying that. That's probably what it is.
Brody, look, everybody says this. This is the typical answer that I hear when I say that the Smiths are swingers. Yes, and that is not the world's business. You see what I mean?
I didn't even know that.
That's not the world's. So when you make it the world's business and you say publicly that, yeah, you be swinging, you know, she be getting fucked and he probably gets some pussy every so often or whatever from them acting broads or whatever, right? That's not for everybody to know that, though. If you're comfortable with people knowing things like that, surely a joke should roll off the shoulder.
It should. I mean, like me, I've never been comfortable with the whole mythology of the swinging concept. I mean, personally, me, when it comes to me, like my take on it is like, okay, like me and that person that's swinging, we're not in a relationship. We just, you know, doing from time to time, we getting busy with each other. Then you do you, and I keep doing me. But if we're in a relationship, you're gonna stop this shit.
All right, well, I'm gonna say, look, I don't judge. I can only, you know, I don't judge. Like if they have some kind, because look at Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. They was not married, but they was just in a relationship for wild years. Do what works for you. But I'm gonna say that there's certain things that are universal principles, and one of them is I don't think a guy wants people knowing that there's another guy banging his wife. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I mean, Lenny Kravitz seems rather cool with Jason Momoa, so I'm like,
but he's not.
I'm like, yo, I'm glad they call him my brother, and then I retweeted that and I put an asterisk, and that's what I wrote Eskimo. So
but they've been divorced for like 25, 30 years.
Yeah, like that's not the same.
That don't mean nothing. They can still bang behind that.
No, I mean, look, if the question is, do I think Lenny Kravitz can get the occasional Sunday slice of pussy from Lisa? Yeah, of course. Of course. The occasional Sunday slice. They are not in a relationship, though. Feel me? They're not like, yeah, that's his joint. and Jason Momoa is also there, you know, to tag team the joint. Like, even though they probably did that, Hollywood people are fucking weird, bro. They're weird.
That's why it's called Hollywood.
See, if you remember, like, if you're like in Hollywood, what I noticed is like you got to follow like certain rules and a certain standard. Like, it's strange, and like if you don't, you'll be blacklisted. I like Monique. I like a few others who don't, like, you know.
Well, nah, Monique wasn't blacklisted for no reason. Monique was blacklisted because she tried to, she kind of tried to use a dirty tactic. You know, you compare, I remember the whole thing because once again, me and my wife, we watch Netflix, we watch the shows.
Oh yeah, that.
You know what I mean? And what it was really about is that you tried to say that because that other comic, that other lady, because she getting money, oh, you supposed to get money off top, but that lady's popping right now, so she gonna get money because she popping right now. You not popping, you know what I mean? It's simple as. It's like if Memphis Bleak, you know, there was a time when Memphis Bleak had a hot album. Yeah, it was a time like 25 years ago, but you like, come on, be like, you ain't gonna come out now like you got the same clout that you had then. So it's like it's apples and oranges, if anything. Like I remember that it was like, oh, she was trying to say, well, how this lady getting money and I'm not, and all this extra shit and some shit about a project. Listen, everything is about favors and networking, because a lot of what she said boils down to plain old networking. All right, depending on what you do, it's repercussions like anything else. Causality, freedom of choice does not mean freedom of consequence, and that's the misconception. You're free to do whatever the fuck you want. You're free to say whatever you want, but there's going to be consequences. Now, Chris, he felt them consequences. I dig it. It is what it is. I dig it. But it's just, I think the whole thing is weird. Like, bro, well, you cool with millions of people knowing that your wife was getting fucking ran through like the one train on 145th. You was cool with that. So how does this make you mad? It don't make sense. That's all I'm saying.
What kind of strings you think they'll had to pull to not get arrested on the spot? Because like even from a standpoint like, oh, like he ain't want to press charges, Chris Rock didn't want to press charges. Like, shouldn't you at least get arrested?
It's Hollywood. Like really, like, and the slap wasn't even hard. Like that shit. That was like a weak handshake of a slap. Like that wasn't.
It was. It's like he pulled back. Like that was kind of like that was wasn't a bitch slap, but it was like a mini bitch slap.
Yeah, that was like that was like a don't eat too many cookies, like a slap on the wrist. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't even like a real. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't even like
no palm.
Because when you
palm, man.
You gotta stiffen up your fingers, and you know what I mean? Like his shit was mad light, like he was trying to like move the curtain or some shit. Like it wasn't even
like Gone with the Wind slap and shit.
But it's embarrassing for Chris. You know, it is embarrassing because you really let that dude slap you in front of everybody. You know what would have been dope if you would have punched him in his face? Then it would have just been all out action. Ultimate Warrior would have ran from ringside with a chair. Hulk would have came from under. It would have been beautiful, bro. Stone Cold.
Like, I've been in a situation.
That's what I mean. It's a spectacle. That's just professional wrestling.
I mean, but Chris probably was just, he's probably just taken aback by the whole situation. You know what I mean? Honestly, I've been in a situation like this where crazy shit just happens, and I'm like, did that shit just happen? Like for real?
What would have been dope is if Chris would have rolled the slap and came back with the counter uppercut to
like Canelo did the plant. Like Canelo
did counter upper. If he rolled it, counter uppercut, then bring the hook over, and then it's the Ultimate Warrior. He run into the shit. He runs to the shit, slide in the shit. That shit would have been beautiful, bro. It would have been the best fucking 10 minutes of television in the history of television, bro. Would have been beautiful, but you know, very awkward. I just wanted to say that to me, the whole thing is very fucking weird. You're cool with people knowing that your wife is getting banged out, trained out, whatever's going on, but you're gonna slap Chris over hairline jokes? You a cuck. You're a cuck.
Yo, I'm gonna add this last thing and I'm gonna bounce, bro. This is guaranteed to be another episode of Red Table Talk. They just got a whole nother season off of this right here.
Of course. Yo, listen, you said
they got a whole nother season off of this right here.
You said it already. She not relevant unless she talking about shit she shouldn't be talking about or Tupac. If it ain't about Tupac or shit she shouldn't be talking about, ain't nothing to talk about. Now I'm gonna get some more opinions on this thing. I'm gonna post the link, and everybody give each other a
All right,
chance
y'all
to
be
talk.
safe, bro.
I'll holler at you, Q. Always welcome. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to get their 2 cents in, because I know a lot of people got a lot to say about the shit. But yeah, man, it's like it's a weird. These is very weird times, bro. These are just very weird
Shit is wild
times.
out here. Shit is wild out here.
Shit is wild out here. Like I don't understand certain shit. I don't really try to anyway. I just laugh at the shit when I see. Let me see. Hold up. South London, what is your reaction to the cuckery?
Well, first of all, I think if we're gonna dial it down a bit, Will Smith.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, we're seeing Will Smith here regressing as a man.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, like, a lot of us have been watching Will Smith for a long time progress from TV series to movies, superstar, big status, and now his career's sort of waning, and his missus is gargling bulls, and he has to watch it, and it's becoming a problem now, because now, yeah, for the tiniest joke, he's actually tried to bitch slap a comedian, and the comedian firmed the bitch slap. So to me, it's just looking like he's looking worse and worse every day. And on top of that, he actually laughed at it, and then he overreacted because he saw that she was upset. So it's not even like he told a second joke. He told the joke and kept it moving, and then he reacted. So my thing is, he's on a cuck level, the worst cuck level I've ever seen. Like his cuck level is on 9,000.
Yeah, like if he's like the Super Saiyan of cucks. Like his ears, his ears are turned gold. His ears are turned gold. His fingertips are turned gold.
No, Jules, super
Hey, yo, Jake, cuck is my word. Don't forget, I have the copyright.
Everybody.
Yo, Jules, let me wrap on this.
All right, go ahead.
Yo, so Jules, basically, this is what I saw. A man that's been emasculated for a long, long time, and it just boiled over. But let me add another component about this. Let's take it all the way back to the 80s and walk with me, because you're gonna understand why I'm taking all the way back to the 80s. Will's from West Philadelphia, right? Let's look at Philadelphia as a whole. Like, Will's an MC. Let's keep it a buck, right? But who do they really give props to? They really give props to the street dudes, Sieg, Emilio, Oschino, them real grimy spitters, because at the end of the day, Philly's a very tough place. Very tough place. Schoolie D, Cool C, Steady B, right? Think about it. A lot of dudes from Philly have a real level of aggressiveness and a real griminess to them. Yo, you are hilarious. You gotta stop this, Jules. Yo, my nigga, you gotta stop. Let me finish up, bro. Like,
let him have his fun, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him have his fun. But like, you gotta understand, Philly didn't respect him, bro. You gotta remember, this guy wasn't getting respect from the people that he got respect, that he was wanting to get respect from, bro. You gotta remember how many people call Will Smith for Will Smith for loser, bro. So at the end of the day, he's been looking for acceptance for a long time. Now let's look at it. He gets with Jada Pinkett Smith, bro. He doesn't even get accepted from her, because Tupac got that imprint. Because if you don't think Tupac didn't blow her back out, you crazy. Let's keep it really a buck. But now, at the end of the day, this guy hasn't been getting acceptance since he got in the game, and it's probably just been bothering him. Now let's look at it from Jada to Will's relationship, bro. When you saw him on the Red Table Talk, when you saw him on the Red Table Talk, he got emasculated. Bro.
and it's sad, and it's sad to see. Yo, this shit is hilarious, bro.
Yo,
This is hilarious.
Jay is on some next mood, man. You seen the cocks?
Let me
Jay, you see the cocks?
Yo, I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
Sorry about that.
But that rec table talk, bro. Whatever little masculinity he had was gone, bro. You have to understand. She tried to take this dude's masculinity, and I think she was successful with it, because you have to understand.
She ain't try to take it. She fucking took it, bro, and then she slapped him in the face with it. She cut his dick off and then put it in his mouth.
Yo, Julie,
literally,
right?
Literally, but like, yo, at the end of the day, yo, Will doesn't need her. Jada needs him, because without that red table talk or you talking about Tupac, bro, your prime has been gone. Like, yo, what the highest heights of your career is Jason Lyrics and Set It Off. Will's
Real
been
shit.
an independent.
Nah, but real shit,
Will's
it
been
is
in
like
so many things, bro. That shit is sad, B. But at the end of the day, for a guy who's keep yearning for a stamp of approval, is like that. And yo, as a black man, I can see why we go to different places, because at the end of the day, this is for me. If you don't have a requisite amount of dysfunction for a person of that ilk can, mesh upon,
no, we're not going to do that. This is what I'm going to say, right? Ratchetry is ratchetry the world over. It's not exclusive to this, because there's ratchets of every shape, form, and denomination everywhere around the world. It's English ratchets in the UK. It's American ratchets in the US. It's Chinese
but I'm just talking
ratchets.
about in terms of dysfunction, bro.
But this is what I mean. The dysfunction that you're referring to has certain socioeconomic factors, not exclusive to any particular denomination, but exclusive to socioeconomic factors. So all I'm saying,
I agree,
I know where you was going with it, but let's not do that. Let's not do that.
But think about it like this, bro. Like on one extreme, on another extreme, dysfunction is dysfunction, bro. So it irrespective of how much money you have, irrespective how little money you have, yo, dysfunction is dysfunction. So that's why I think that, because also look at it, Tupac and her have more commonality than Will and her, bro. Let's keep it a buck. Will was probably the popular dude in high school. This girl went to a performing arts high school, and you know how weird them dudes is. Mm-hmm. You in Harlem, we both from New York. We know how weird these niggas is. Let's keep it a buck. So at the end of the day, she probably just sees him like, oh, this guy thinks she's better than me. I'm gonna do something to him. I don't know what's good with dude, but like, yo, you could have really threw away your career for a joke. And mind you, Chris Rock has been friends with that family for years. There's pictures of him smiling with them. So at the end of the day, he's gonna do that.
Listen, he probably fucked Jada too. I wouldn't be surprised.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Be surprised.
Hold up.
At the end of the day, yo, Jules, that's just my take on it, bro. But thank you.
Yo, Julius, all right. Remember, you from Harlem, and all my New Yorkers, we know about this, what I'm about to explain, right? Mm-hmm. Remember back in the days, like when you were growing up, there was always a neighborhood smut. Like the one that mad dudes ran through it.
Facts. Ran through.
But there was always that one dumbass dude that decided to wife her up.
Yo, and everybody in the group looked like you. What the fuck wrong with you, my nigga?
Exactly.
She's a whore, my nigga. She's a pop, nigga. You're wildin'.
Exactly. And he gets mad when y'all talk bad about her, but we all know her history.
That's real, B. He the little boy. He the dude that'll get the shit beat out of him over that broad, B.
Yo, bro,
that's what I mean.
My nigga, and I don't claim that nigga, bro. That's some nasty energy that nigga is. He shares the same shine, bro. Like at least LL Cool J, we know he's crazy, but he wouldn't dare do some shit like this.
It's just
I ain't never seen.
Look.
Nah,
Will stands alone in this, right? He's standing alone in this, right? You look at the whole of Hollywood, right? It's a lot of people getting it. It's a lot of people, they busting a lot of nuts, right? But he the only one that is being put out there, and it's embarrassing. You feel what I'm saying? Who else can we name that is like that, like where he at? Like really? She was,
bro. It's like this,
manhood, bro.
But it's like this. It's like you gotta walk a fine line, because you're in a white space, right? and then you gotta do something that's gotta, like, I guess, level up your fucking
Man, I don't
street
give a
cred by
fuck
smacking
about
this
that
little
white
bitch.
space. Sorry about that to cut you
I
off.
know
You
that, but it's like
man,
to them, yo, because you have fucking entertainers that's like, oh my god, he would have killed Chris Rock, and I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. It's just a slap.
It's just a
Everybody's
slap.
fine.
But
Everybody's fine.
Virtuoso, like you just touched on something interesting. Like, how does smacking Chris Rock give you street cred?
It don't. You just look soft. Yo, I'm gonna be real with you, Jay. I didn't think it was possible for me to look at him as being even softer or even a bigger cuck, but he's an even bigger cuck.
Yo, bro, son, straight up and down. I thought, yo, he looked like a straight up bitch. Like bitch. But like,
real
yo,
shit.
Now all the women who saying, yo, oh, he protected a black woman, bro. Did Jada protect this man's masculinity when he was emasculating him?
Exactly.
On that show? No, but nobody
bro,
wants
he
to
had
say
to
anything.
walk that fine line. I either try to impress these fucking white folks, or I try to, keep some, or trying to gain some kind of fucking edge among my niggas.
Yo, you can divorce her. Divorce this girl.
Now you can't.
You
can't. No, you can't, because if you divorce her, you're gonna end up like Shane Mosley. For those that want to talk boxing,
Julius, I gotta ask you this. Julius, I gotta ask you this. Is it really worth your sanity? Is it worth your masculinity? Yo, you disrespecting me on the highest level. Money is money, but yo, my pride, my dignity, my morals, values, and principles is on the line. You can have the money because at the end of the day, I'm still Will Smith. Bitches still find me.
Even if he got divorced from her, right, and she took half, would he still be back? Would he still be would he be fucked up? If this man is worth $100 million, I'm just saying, right?
Oh, that shit is clean, bro.
I'm just saying, if like
Hancock within a Hancock.
Yo, Julius, you gotta do more of this. You gotta do more of these shows.
Oh shit.
No, I'm just no, but keep going.
Nah, let's say Will Smith is worth $100 million, right? And he gets divorced and he got to give her 50, and he's stuck with 50. Is he back? Is he like that? Like fucked up?
You gotta make sure it fit the eyes, like both lenses. Try to do that.
Julius, you wild.
Yo, he's after you, Julius.
He gonna get me, B.
He heard everything you said about
Yo, I'm expecting Will to show up on my door trying to slap me now. Why?
Bro, he on his way here right now.
To bring it back to boxing, I'm glad that your Dennis Ugas kind of chimed in on this thing, even though he kept it to a paragraph. That should stop his new game fans that he got from the WBA sticking him into that fucking tournament, from going after people that criticize him for his alopecia. I just want to put that out there.
Real shit, yo. Let me read the super chat. She got Professor X cut control over Will. Damn. Willie Fitz, shout out to Willie Lynch. She says, while we talking about tricks like this only happened in the past. The game ain't changed, just the players. That's facts.
That's a fact.
That's facts. That's facts.
Fendi. Yo, you hilarious, man. You a foul nigga. That's why I fuck with you.
Jay,
Yo,
Julius, indicated came out today, bro.
Hey, wait, y'all, I got a funny parallel that y'all might disagree on this, but you know who's the white counterpart of Will and Jada?
Who?
Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes.
Nah. You know what? Nah. I'm gonna say why. Right? The shit with Katie, she did low key embarrass him a little bit, but not to this degree, bro. Not to this degree. Like it ain't which Katie say, yeah, B, I was shagging his son substitute teacher, and he watched the shit. Like, nah, it wasn't like that. Like it was embarrassing, but not like that. Like, I would not want to be Will under no circumstances, B. At all. Like, no.
Julius in the chat, think about it. Think about all the bitches Will knocked down. Like, he knocked down some pretty fine bitches. And just to have your masculinity in your your legacy just stripped away from you like that, man, shit is crazy. Yo, you a funny nigga. Yo, I'm telling you, we get closer to saying every
killing
day,
me,
B.
Smiles.
Every day, every day,
Every day.
Do
Every
you know
day,
what the
every
maddest
day.
thing is, though? Do you know what the maddest thing is? The maddest thing is that August guy is their son's friend.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody has a friend. Imagine your friend knocking down your mum.
Bro,
Oh,
Bro,
I would
you're
tell
like setting the
nah,
tone for like a fucking porn scene right there.
listen, if I was
Yeah, I'm
out,
coming after my
hold on,
friends
if I
with
was
both hands,
August,
B.
if I was August, I would remind him of that every day. Like, you know, I fucked your mom, right? like,
Yo, bro,
but
you know it's crazy.
but
August got
peep the
lupus.
shit, peep the shit, because he'll be talking about some random shit like, damn, B, anybody got some water? But you know, I fucked your mom, right? You know, I fucked
I
your
would have
mom,
punched that
right?
nigga in his face. I would have punched that nigga in his face. Yo,
Man,
bro,
dude,
if
you
he
know,
died that day, if I would have
wait.
figured, yo, Julius, if I would have figured that shit out, word to everything I love, I'm killing that nigga family, B. And I'm pissing on his motherfucking grandma,
This is
B.
gonna be the
I'm making-
cover of Will next movie, B.
Yo, bro, you go to hell for this. You go to hell for this, my nigga. Oh my god, this is
Yep, we are.
bad.
Yeah, y'all see out there.
Yo, this shit is
Yeah,
wild
B.
out here, B. It's wild out
yo,
here.
I don't even think the Smiths assault on Chris Rock ain't even done yet. Cause I bet Jaden was probably waiting for Chris Rock at his house wearing that fucking white Batman suit. Oh my god.
Nah, B. I mean, like I
Yo,
said,
Hollywood
Jaden
is
wanna
weird
jump
as
that
shit,
rock?
B.
Jade is weird as fuck, bro. He is. Seriously.
yo,
Yeah, Hollywood is weird, bro.
nah, because see,
Holly
this,
weird.
let me say this
Jaden
about
is a
it.
weird little kid.
Well, I mean, just think
Can I
about the
say
household they probably grew up in, right? It doesn't surprise me
exactly?
if those kids are fucking weird, you know?
I'm gonna say, look, Jaden, you know, because he trying to be like a symbol of something, and to me, all I see is a kid that didn't have to struggle for nothing, didn't have to worry about nothing. So your brain is literally bored, and yes, that could happen. If you ever had like a lot of money that you could get whatever you wanted to get, just buy whatever you wanted to buy. That's how you turn like that, to where you bored, your brain is bored, your spirit is bored. You trying to like he trying real hard to be different. You should just be Jaden, bro. Stop trying to be different and just be Jaden. But you try to make being Jaden like some kind of special ass shit. Like, no, you just a fucking weirdo. And honestly, you seem like a douchebag because you keep trying to be
But
different.
they get it from his father because he said it once in an interview, like, yo, I want to be a fucking concept. Like, what? Like,
yeah.
I mean, like,
I remember that shit.
His fashion sense is weird. It's like he dresses like, he dresses like a guy who wishes he came out of the closet, but then wishes he didn't.
Nah, look, I'm not because see this what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna bash
So he's
nobody.
confused?
Hold on. I'm not gonna bash nobody based on they orientation or if they from the Orient or whatever, right? I ain't gonna do that.
Yo, you
But
sick, B.
If they from the dark side.
Wait,
sick, B.
but wait,
Let him finish.
Let me finish. I'm just saying that, like, for you to be what you want to be, you don't gotta be a dick about, and like you like the kid is like a dick. Like, yeah, you a dick, bro. Like, if you was just Joe Blow, like if you wasn't Will Smith's son, but you was doing that same shit, motherfuckers will beat the shit out of you every day, yo. like
Yo,
why
yo,
you
think
want
about
that?
it. Niggas in New York would have robbed him for his shit. Like, oh
Bro,
my
imagine
God.
him on like imagine him walking down, and I'm talking about like I don't know what 8th and 7th look like now because I haven't been up north in years. But like, yo,
Not the same.
imagine him in 1996 walking down 7th with that goofy looking. Like, man, motherfuckers are
Imagine him on 139 in
Dame
Lennox,
tus
B.
putazos, bro.
but motherfuckers will beat the shit out of you every day. Every
Lo
day.
capan al güey, bro. Lo
Because you
capan.
gotta
He
understand,
could have been a
Harlem
Park West shooter.
You gotta understand, Harlem dudes, pound for pound, the grimiest dudes ever to walk existence. I love y'all, but y'all so foul, B.
Facts.
Pound for pound, the grimiest. Just imagine Jaden in Harlem
facts.
when Big L, the Dame, and Herb McGruff was all out. Oh my God!
What?
Different time, different era, different like clothing. That's just
Yo, just
not-
imagine he having a battle with Big L. Oh my God, bro! Like
That's
facts.
out. Yo, you saw L on the block, bro. You said you saw L on the block, so you know how L can get. That's crazy. This is bad, dude.
Yo,
I got to ask the panel something, and you, Jules. Objectively speaking, what do you think Will Smith goes from here?
Jail.
Well, hope he find Chris. I mean, hope he finds Chris Rock no personal charges, which he ain't. So I don't know.
he's not going to, bro.
Chris
I hope he divorces
no
Jada, B.
He ain't gonna press no
He needs to divorce
charges.
that.
He ain't gonna press charges, but he's gonna sue. Like, didn't you see the way he received the slap? He received it like, "I'm gonna sue your ass."
I mean, maybe he'll do that. Let me read the super chat just in case. If Will and Jada are swingers, open relationship, where did that idea come from? From Will or exact? This is what I mean. Like you know where it's coming from. You know what time it is. Bobby Light says, "Ain't Jayden dating Tyler the Creator?"
Nigga.
I'm not even keeping tabs with this woman.
I don't want to know about that shit.
I don't care about that. It's like it's just a reaction to it. It's like there's no right or wrong answer. It's like we're all part of it, man. We're all part of the fucking spectacle.
I don't want to know about that shit.
Me either, bro. Like Mario White and shit.
As Americans, we're sitting in the front row of the freak show.
Fellas, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do on my way to work. Wait. You know what I'm gonna do the night on my way to work? I think I'm gonna listen to some August Alsina. Yeah, I think I'm gonna rock that.
Naturally, he can sing, bro. No corny shit. He can actually sing.
Oh yeah, he got bars, man. Yeah,
he's nice, bro. It's just like he got lupus and all that.
Yo, think about it. There's a song by August Alsina explaining how he banged Jada. Why?
Yeah. What's that song called? Yeah, I forgot.
Entanglement. Entanglement.
It's called Entanglement.
That's the one.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah. I mean, like he's literally referring to somebody named Conan in the lyrics, and that's Jay's middle name.
His streams must be going crazy right now.
Yo,
I'm probably disgusting.
I don't, like dog, like he getting money, but it's not because of talent. It's because he banged Jada. Like that's
he's actually been talented, bro. It's just like he had label situations, and
Yeah, but like look, this the shit. Like motherfuckers don't see that. A lot of motherfuckers, as soon as you hear about them, that's as soon as they burn out because you're not living right and you're not doing right. As soon as they pop, they burn out. Kind of like Teofimo Lopez. For those that want to talk about boxing, I mean,
yeah, bro. Did you see how Kriegel got away from him? Was it second? Just how Kriegel? He tried to run. Yo, God, he was out, man.
Bro, Kriegel didn't want to get entangled. He didn't want to get entangled.
Bruh.
Listen, he didn't want to get entangled. Like, nah.
It's looking like it's downhill from here, man. Like, come on, man. Just seeing him walking away from the questions, I'm like, God, bro, come on, man.
Teodoro, it's worse than I thought. Teodoro lost his mind.
But also, I'm gonna say that interviewer ain't shit because you can see that kid is uncomfortable, and because the world is cold. Like I legit feel bad for that kid. Like I feel bad. Like people should.
You told him to go under a rock. You greasy, man. You greasy. You try to blame. You try to blame Teo. You trying to blame Teofimo lost on me?
I mean, fellas. I thought Teo lost his mind when he said that he got Crawford and Porterville hard to pay this, but when he said the zone set him up, like, bruh, like, really, like.
Yo, B, I don't know, say.
Yeah, Trevor skated.
But like, yo, I don't think
they're the ones who rescheduled the fuck out of that fight.
Keep it on the low.
Huh?
Cause my heart can't take it anymore. Yo,
we're just having fun,
trash bars on that song.
I don't wanna know. It's like a video. It's like a music video. I don't wanna know.
Oh, yeah, this is bad,
bro. I love that song.
I wanna know. And this music video. This is when Will watched the Entanglement. That's the face he made. Like, I don't wanna know.
Yo, bro. Yo,
has anyone seen Ozark?
I hope Will don't see this because, Jules, if Will's gonna walk up on you, you gotta put both.
Hey, Will, I'm not Chris Rock, bro. I'm just
I'm
not Chris Rock, bro.
I love you.
Julius.
Don't turn.
Go ahead, South London.
You seen Ozark?
Nah, I didn't see Ozark.
In Ozark, yeah, there's a scene where like the lady's husband keeps on watching a porno of his wife banging someone else. That's Will Smith, literally.
Did you see? No, wait. Did you see Boogie Nights with Boogie Nights with Dirk Diggler, Chest Rockwell?
Yeah.
Remember
No,
the
I didn't
dude?
see that one.
Watch
Yeah,
Boogie
William
Nights.
H makes his correct character. Saw Nita
That's
Hartley
Will
getting
Smith,
banged.
bro.
Literally,
The wife will be getting fucked. He'll walk in the room. He'll walk in the room and the wife will be getting fucked. And she'll be like, Gary, you're embarrassing me while she getting fucked.
Bro, I read on Twitter, bro. That after that slap, yo, listen to this. After that slap, Jenna would be like, yo, like, I'm gonna let you watch tonight. That's basically what happened.
Shit.
Hold up. Remember Harold and Kumar when they got lost in the woods and they found some creepy ass houses, some creepy ass inside, fuck my wife.
Nah, but the William H. Macy shit was, Gary, you're embarrassing me.
Yo, that was crazy, B.
Yo,
and they really lived that.
Doesn't he wind up killing himself or no?
He did.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I didn't want to say it earlier, man, but you know what? I almost feel bad for that cuck, man. You know.
Yo.
I mean, if we're being real, man, like
art.
Shit.
I'm just saying, art imitates life sometimes. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
Don't marry a porn star.
Shit is wild out here.
Yo, look how Julius is walking with the one eye. Yo, Julius is sick, B.
Jules, I got a question. Can I send this link to Will's Twitter account? No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
Nah, what you trying to get me in some shit for? You gonna try to get me in some shit?
Nah, Julius, you got hands. You from Harlem, bitch.
We'll walk over to my stage and slap me, son. You trying to set me up, yo? Set me up, yo.
Yo, you gotta rep from New York because Chris made New York look crazy.
Yo, matter of fact, that's facts. He from Brooklyn though. He not from Harlem. He from Brooklyn though. That's the difference.
Yo, bro, like imagine all the rowdy Brooklyn dudes that would have just like, oh my god, imagine if that was Mike Tyson. You think he gonna walk up and say that?
I'm just saying, Cam could have told that same joke. Bet you he wouldn't have walked on stage though. Jimmy could have told that joke. I bet you he wouldn't have walked on stage though.
Yo, I heard Jimmy's no good, bro. I heard Jimmy no good. I heard he testifying on dudes, but hey, I don't know, B.
Hey, it's a lot of that going around. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Yo, why Cam run off on Jimmy at the Rucker, bro?
I don't know.
Were you there though?
No.
Now you was a young boy.
No, I wasn't,
bro.
I wasn't there. You had to be there, yo.
I don't think I was even born, bro. Like real talk, I think I was like
you wasn't. I was at the hospital. You wasn't born. Not yet.
What hospital was I born at, bitch? Let me know.
You was born at on Presbyterian on 168th, right?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
No, I wasn't. I was born in Brooklyn, bro. Like, yo, he looking crazy, man.
BK Style, CJ Hal. We don't play fair, we play foul. Go ahead, stand there. We spray crowds. Real shit.
Yo, Julius, I gotta ask you a question, bro. Like, yo, you used to put a lot of old school, instrumentals. Like for example, you put Siaka Bo in one of your old relay videos. Did they get strike down for the uses of those songs?
No, I know it's secret, but I'm not going to tell it to nobody. I know it's secret how to get around that. I'm not going to tell nobody though.
Let me know.
I ain't going to tell nobody. I ain't going to tell nobody my secrets, but I know how to get around that. It involves having sophisticated apparatus to change the sound wave, because what YouTube likes to do is they got the original sound wave. They got the original sound wave.
Yeah.
So you got to find a way to change that. What you change. Well, I ain't even going front. If you can change the beginning, right? The first couple of seconds, you change the beginning. The rest of the shit is fair play. The rest of the shit, it's the beginning that you got to change, but you got to be able to change the wave. That's the main shit.
But you're a producer, so you understand how to do that.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like it's some shit that's like super duper hard to do either though. It's not like if you.
I feel you, but you're adept at
No,
manipulating.
but I ain't more.
So,
Don't make me sound like I'm fucking Swiss Beats because I'm like I ain't fucking.
yo, bro,
I ain't motherfucking Timberland, man.
this stories about Swizzy, bro. Like, yo, one of my OGs who was in a production company back in the day had left a CD back in the day for like Rough Riders and Swiss Beats back in the time he was young. He was making all those keyboard beats and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And dudes played some beats. My OG played some beats, and it was better than his.
Mm-hmm.
So they left that stuff there. You know how the game go. They manipulate.
Yeah, but that's it. Listen, it's stories like that. Real shit. It's stories like that about everybody. Like it's a dude. It was a SoundCloud rapper in the boxing groups, right? Matter of fact, no, it's not even the boxing groups. He here on YouTube, right? He a SoundCloud rapper, right? And he really believed that who is it? I think it's Drake. He really think Drake. No, not Drake. It's motherfucking who this trash ass dude? Forest Hills Drive. Who's this? I forget this young guy's name. Forest Hills.
J. Cole.
He think J. Cole stole it.
Trash.
I'm just playing. I'm just being an old grimy. Like I'm on my Joe Button. He really believed that J. Cole stole his bars. Like he really believed that because he said he sent them the bars. Nothing would surprise me because it does happen. It does happen. So,
I gotta ask you a hip hop question, bro. When Cameron put all of Jay-Z's stolen bars from other artists, why did we not bomb on Jay-Z? Because we say this.
Because that's
Jay-Z's
bullshit.
one of the best.
Because that was bullshit.
That's bullshit.
That was bullshit.
Yo, but think
He
about
was
it.
he was using the bars. He was using the bars as subliminal to pay homage to.
Yeah,
that's how he was doing it.
Hold on. No, we're not gonna. No, we not. You don't slander Jay on my shit. Now, this is what I'm gonna say. The way that Jay, when you take the context out of it, when you take the context of the bars that he used, it's gonna sound like he biting. Nah, he was paying homage.
Exactly, he was paying homage.
He'll set it up.
It was paying homage. He wasn't trying to fight
How much homage do you have to pay, bro? Because my favorite rapper of all time, Cool G Rap, never did that. LL Cool J never did that.
Come on, you talking
real Cool G Rap?
Like,
so who came from before Cool G Rap?
LL Cool J is not on Jay-Z's level.
Think about it. We call Jay-Z a top tier lyricist, bro. And the top tier lyricist.
He not.
Yes.
He is.
So then what's the argument?
But there's dudes that have not done that, and at the end of the day,
you
they
acting
get
like no. See, now you changing. No,
you're off base there, brother.
No, you acting like because he did that, that's why he was popping. No,
exactly.
That was just some little bullshit that he did. Big deal.
Nah, bro. I never said, yo, imaginary players, streets is watching. Where I'm from, I understand that, bro. Like I've been rocking with Jay for a long time, but the leniency that Jay gets, other MCs don't. If Biggie was doing that, Biggie would have got kicked out of here, bro. If Nas was doing that,
no, because he's doing his thing. Because if you do it, it's your thing. Then you are original at doing that. You understand?
Yeah.
That's if you paying the homage, he puts it in. The point is, you cannot take credit away from any of the songs that Jay-Z has put out, especially when he's been so prolific at it.
Now let me. No, wait. Let me break down the argument. Now,
can I just say one more thing, please?
All right, go ahead.
I didn't even like Jay-Z. I didn't understand his shit until a friend of mine downloaded a lot of files, and I got to hear like his anthology, the whole thing put together, and I started understanding the cat. You understand? And I'm not saying that he's overly deep. I'm just saying that I started like, oh, that's why he keeps, like I decided to tune him out at one point, and then retroactively I listened to him. I was like, oh shit, but está bien, oíste.
Okay, let me say this, right? Like Eminem did this shit, and a lot of this is why I don't say nothing. Musicians in general do it. Period. Whether they're doing it with lyrics or they're doing it with samples. Like for example, a couple of years ago, Beyonce came out with a song. I like the original better. Joan Osborne's "What If God Was One of Us." Beyonce turned it into "If I Was a Boy." Well, I like Joan Osborne's version better. Does that mean that Beyonce not good because she sampled that? Nah, it don't mean that. It's still a good song. I like the original better. Eminem said some shit. He was like, I got mushrooms, I got that shit, I got accent, acid tablets. Bro, you took that from somebody else. You just changed the words.
That's Tom's Diner. Boo doo 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 doo.
No, that's not even Tom's Diner. It's literally I'm a pusher. It was some old shit like that. The point is, everybody does that. Everybody borrow from the past, and anybody that's telling you that they don't, they fucking lying, bro. Everybody borrow from the past. Everybody do it.
But you know what? You can do something like that and be completely coincidental. There is only 7 notes.
Yeah.
Right? And the 8th note repeats the first note.
Exactly.
You're gonna repeat. There's only but so much. It's the usage, the feeling, your originality, your tone. It's like that whole controversy of Stairway to Heaven with Led Zeppelin and the other guys. If you listen to that thing, it's gonna happen.
I know what you're talking about.
Dua Lipa, the new girl from the UK, Dua Lipa, who I think is very talented, by the way, right? Mm-hmm. She took the old INXS shit. INXS was my shit when I was young, and I still like the original better than her shit. But that don't really mean that her shit don't knock. Like, nah, her shit knocks. Like, it'll get you moving. Like, yeah, you've been drinking your drink, and that shit come on. Yeah, you gonna feel it.
What NXX song did she sample, dude?
It's the God, which is the song, man? It was one of the ones that was on the radio. It wasn't from the album. It was a cover song.
You're a producer. You need to know your samples like that.
Yeah, but I'm an old motherfucker. Though. Which was the song, man? It was one of the ones.
What's the name of her track? So I can check it out.
Let me look this shit up. I ain't gonna play it because I don't want to get in trouble.
I got you.
But let me
because I'm old, and I'm a huge NXS fan to this day.
Julius, my retort to your argument is I agree with a lot of your points because it even goes back to jazz, bro. A lot of those jazz dudes used to steal licks. They used to have contrafacts. I understand that, but when you talk taking bars, bro, like think about it. When the Remy's in the system, ain't no telling what a come on, I diss them. That's what they be yelling. I'm a pimp by blood, not relation. Yeah, chase them, I replace them. Yo, that's the world is filled, and that was also on Give It To Me, bro. That was the same bars, B. At the end of the day, we not talking about music that could be manipulated. We're talking about words in a specific way that Jay has done that a couple times, B.
Dua Lipa's song that she sampled is Break My Heart. That's the name of her song. But the NXS song that she sampled was Need You Tonight. That's the name of it. All right. And look, and that shit, look, listen, I don't give a shit. That shit will come on now. That same old NXS. You're not going to tell me you don't feel like moving it. Like, bro, like, come on, be wildin'. Like, that shit is mean, B. And her shit is mean in its own way. And if you know music, you know, bro, this goes on from the 70s. Like, in general, everybody borrows from everybody. So it's not that big a deal. It's not a big deal, really. Now, if you, it's like the way Jay did it. I always interpreted it as he's paying homage because these are popular lyrics. These are lyrics that people know. So when you hear it, it's not exactly.
But think about it like this. Yo, you gave us Reasonable Doubt. You gave us the Black Album. You gave us Blueprint. All original bars. Because when Jay wants to rap himself, come on, B. Like this. Yo, Reasonable Doubt, Blueprint, in the Black Album, mean, B. Mean. Like The Evils. That's my favorite Jay song of all times, B. Straight up and down. Jay got some shit that is like, yo, if you just keep doing that, bro, you don't. I understand you doing that for popularity to drive your sales, whatever. I understand the business, but like a lot of people wouldn't get that same leniency because you got to understand a lot of people.
Come on with that.
But hear me out. A lot of people get called out for biting. B. Let's keep it.
That wasn't a bite.
That's not biting when it's an homage, and it's like if you take
bite.
Yeah, it's not biting like I always look. Those was bars that everybody knew, and Jay knew that, so he gonna know. Yo, when they hear this, they gonna know what this is. Like it ain't. I ain't stealing it from old boy. It's an homage to the shit. Like I'm gonna start off the verse with that, or I might build up to it. But it's kind of like a homage or a punchline. It ain't like he really trying to say like, yeah, that's my shit. Nah, come on, B. You reading too much into that.
That's what I'm saying. Jules,
and
listen. Can I just say this? First of
Talk
all,
your shit.
what Cameron needs to do is focus on his fucking lyrics. That's what he needs to do. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm a SDE fan. I'm a Confessions of Fire fan. I'm a Come Home With Me fan. Purple Haze fan. Killers. Oh, I still got all of those albums, right? But I'm saying, like, on some real shit, you need to focus on your shit, cause Jay is.
That was 2001. That was back.
That's fact. And they came up in the same era. That's the other shit. That's why I always looked at Jay-Z as a guy like, nah, y'all just some haters because y'all don't got the work ethic that he got. Every summer, like clockwork, he got some shit. His shit, the Rock La Familia shit, it was always some shit, and he consistently made hits.
What I respect from Jay-Z is that one of the few people that it's like, yes, he's a real thing. As far from his background to how he made it, that shit was completely real. There is some shit
documented.
You know 141st Street, right? Mm-hmm. Remember the cat from the Beeper store? Mm-hmm. There was a store on 141st Street on the corner of Broadway. Broadway. Okay. There was a Nino and Felix. Remember Nino and Felix? And next door was the Beeper store.
Yeah.
Right? The Beeper store, that's where that guy, OG Juan, that we used to call him Juan Bemba, Bubble Lip Juan. That's exactly what it is. Grayson Gordo with Chubby and Tone across the street. Yo, listen, I lived on 141st, 3456 Broadway. Mm-hmm. I did my thing on 137 in Broadway, but that whole avenue. So Jay-Z's getting served at 145th Street in the McDonald's. That shit was fucking real. Going at it, doing that shit, that's the real thing. And that's what I appreciate. That's exactly what I appreciate. As far as the music that he was able to turn this into what it has turned to. Hey, just give him credit for that. Even when I heard that record by Cameron, and I said, yeah, like, oh shit. When he brought up that those lines were like, yeah, he's biting this and that. No, those songs. First of all, yes, he did use the lines. Yes, it's actually it's true, verified. Number one, I feel is a homage, and number two, the songs themselves weren't hits because of those lines.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
saying? I feel you. I never said that. I never said.
I'm gonna just say that. The only way that argument works is when you take the context out of it. Anybody at the time know it's not like that line made the song hot. The fucking song was hot, period. You could take that line out of the fucking song and the song would still be hot. That's why, from a musical perspective, that's why I always like, man, get out of here with that weak ass argument. Like I could take that line out of that song. It's still going to hit.
It's still going bang.
Still going to knock. So come on with that shit.
It's like you're trying to say that he made his entire career. Come on, man. Stop.
Yeah, that's why whenever anybody says that about a piece of music, I'm like, Brody, just trust me. Everybody borrows from everybody. Believe me. It just because you don't recognize the tune, like not that long ago, right? It was some folks in the Middle East that talked about how their music influenced the West because their music was being sampled in the West and there was leniency due to the copyright. So, well, a song that's copyrighted in the fucking Middle East has no copyright in the West in the old days. So they were taking those beats and using them in their song. Yeah, like that's what they were doing. All right, but it's real shit though, and all I'm saying is everybody borrows from everybody. So anybody talking about music, bro, it's not a lot of original anything out there. That's why I love Nirvana. I never heard nothing like Nirvana when I was young. I never heard nothing like that.
When they made a breakthrough sound. Motherfuckers, very few people actually make a breakthrough sound.
Motherfucking Freddie Mercury, B. I don't give a shit. Queen was the shit. I don't care.
His brain was wired different. His brain was wired different. There's some people whose brains are just wired different. You know what I mean? And then they break the mold, and then everybody kind of then falls or makes some kind of thing that was influenced upon what that person did, and it's what it is.
Yeah, but as far as like anybody talking like in other words, originality is fleeting in the music industry as a whole, because everything is recycled, reprocessed, repurposed, and regurgitated. Most
in humanity, period.
Humanity,
period.
honestly, many concepts is just
that's why I
repurposed and
appreciate Miles
regurgitated.
Davis. That's why I appreciate Miles Davis, Wes Montgomery, like people like that, because my favorite genre outside of hip hop is jazz and R&B. Like I'm a real jazz head. I love trumpeters, I love saxophonists. So like people like Miles Davis, for him to be consistently innovative, like Birth of Cool, Convict Blue.
But
like,
the argument,
like
hold on, the argument that I'm making is that just because something is not an original piece of music, that doesn't make it bad. My argument when it comes to that is, it's not, no, go ahead and borrow. Everybody does it, but add something to it. Show me something else. Like take it somewhere else. You know, like if you can make the crescendo better, you know what I mean? You give it a better bass line, but it's the same melodic progression. Do something with it is my whole thing. That if you're going to borrow it, at least add something to it. Now, the reason I didn't think much of Beyonce's If I Was a Boy is because the original song was deeper. Joan Osborne's song was a lot. What if God was one of... That was mean, bro.
Yeah, that was some real
fellas. Personally, like I don't know about y'all, but I miss like the old stuff back in the '60s and '70s. Because when I was a little kid, when I would like ride in the car with my pops, he would always play 98.1 on the radio, and that just gave me this like love and nostalgia for like all that type of music, like the Delphonics, the Temptations, the Shy-Lights, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
Even now, like when I look,
all that shit.
This ain't even cap. This ain't even cap. When I wake up, when I wake up, I like make my coffee, drink my shit. And I start playing some M Bone or Boney M, that German dude. That's German. Look, it was a German. Listen, it was a German guy behind the music, but he orchestrated the band. You know, the producer.
Boney M. Rasputin.
Yeah, Rasputin. That's my shit. Those
Rasputin.
Yeah, shit. Yo, that shit'll get you hype. So I'm like, and I know that there's a lot of songs like that in the 70s, though. Not just them. A lot of people borrowed from each other in the 70s. A lot of people, everybody borrows from everybody. The thing is, can you make good music? That's the point. Because everybody's borrowing from everybody. That's a given. Like, no matter what boxing movie we talking about, all y'all motherfuckers is borrowing from Rocky. Don't argue with me. Yes,
they're borrowing from Raging Bull. Raging Bull, bro.
Raging Bull is nothing like Rocky, fam. What are you talking about? Raging Bull is nothing like Rocky. Rocky was the first boxing movie that was like, yo, you gonna get up and cheer. Like, yeah, yo, I wasn't cheering for fucking...
Actually, I'm gonna tell you this. And I'm gonna challenge you to do this, my brother. Rocky was an extension in a remake of sorts of On the Waterfront.
I gotta watch it.
Okay, so watch now. Dig this, On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando. Right. So one day I'm watching, and let me tell you something. You know the scene where Sylvester Stallone kisses Talia Shire for the first time?
Yeah.
Okay, dude, watch On the Waterfront. You are going to have your mouth open like, oh shit. And Sylvester Stallone actually admitted how the influences that he had on the Waterfront. Even the part
now hold on. Now, let me
I don't want to be a bum from the neighborhood.
No. Let me make my point. This is what I mean. You're proving my point. Now, if you watch the first Crow, the original Crow with Brandon Lee, right? When he first approaches the gangsters in their lair, right? Watch that scene and then watch Heath Ledger's Batman. It's literally the same scene. Literally the same scene. And your character, your depiction of the Joker is literally inspired by Brandon Lee's Crow. What is my point? You borrowed from it. I can see that you did. You can't fool me. You borrowed from it. But was your depiction dope? Yes, it was. Because I never understood the Joker as a character until Heath Ledger. Like, now I understand the guy that, you know, his life is so fucked up, he can't help but laugh at it. Now I get it. So your performance was still great, but that doesn't mean that you didn't borrow from someone. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Because when you have a $150 like that on both sides, B, you gotta laugh. Otherwise, you go.
Yeah. What'd you think about the last Joker?
Which one was the last one? Jared Leto?
Yes.
He's not the Joker that I grew up with. He looks like a Joker that was drawn in their comics after I stopped buying comic books, so I can't tell you if it's true to the source material. But hands down, bar none, the best Joker that I've ever seen is Heath Ledger. And yes, I grew up in the Jack Nicholson, Tim Burton, Batman era, but the best Joker that I've ever seen is Heath Ledger. And did Heath borrow from someone else? Oh, if you've seen The Crow, you gonna know scene for scene. Even the camera angle that is kind of low, and the shot is behind Heath Ledger's back. Well, that's what The Crow did when he walked in with the big trench coat. It's literally the same scene. The lighting.
Is that where he tells all these motherfuckers, you're all gonna die?
Yes.
Jules. I mean, Jules. Literally, the Joker, like Heath Ledger's Joker, he made The Dark Knight. He's the sole reason that movie was good.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen it.
That's it.
Honest to God.
What'd you think about the last Batman?
Very weak. That's Batman. That's Batman if he's castrated and he's afraid of vagina. Because if it was me,
Cuckman.
Because if it was me, it's no movie. Listen, if it's me, it's no movie.
Put the cup up, Eric. Put the cup up. Put the cup up.
Let me put that up.
Put it up.
Listen, if it's me, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Alexis. Let me tell you something, Alexis. If it's me, it ain't no movie. Soon as that cat suit get worn, like yo, you know what? Fuck, Gotham.
It turns into a porn.
Gotham can wait. Gotham can wait. That's Gotham can wait. Right?
Hey, Jules or Chris. I just tagged y'all on the Twitter post. Take a look at it.
I bet
it was about the Will Smith stuff. Y'all gotta see that.
Let me see. I got a couple of. I got in one little. I dig it. Like I say, he's a cuck, bro. Honest. Just looking at what's unfolding for him as a male. Nah, I don't even respect you, B. I don't respect that, bro.
No, but Jules, you know what the problem was? All the telltale signs were there that Will was a cuck early on. You know how I noticed?
Yeah.
You remember the first Men in Black movie, right? Where he just became an agent, and like Tommy Lee was like, okay, we're about to go get some bad guys. Type of like, oh yeah, so we getting some weapons, right? Type of like, this is for me. Noisy cricket. And he took a cuck wouldn't have took that gun. The small ass shit. Like
I mean that's script shit. Look, like I said, the sign to me that this and my wife probably listening to the conversation. There was a picture, it's a very famous picture of Will Smith, and he's going like this to Jada, right? Like he putting on display. And it's a very, that's a very well-known picture of them. And I told my wife years ago, because she was a big fan of them as a couple. You know how wives, they're the greatest couple. They so successful, they got kids. And I used to tell her, like, no, that shit is fake. That shit is bullshit. That dude is miserable. Look at the shit. I swear to God, me and her used to have so many and I used to tell her, like, nah, man, that dude is miserable, man. That's a front. Like, he's overcompensating. Really, if you want to see a couple that's happy, they relax because they just both busted a nut. They relax. It don't gotta be overbearing and overcompensate like that. Like when I seen Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie, you knew, like, see, that's a nice couple. They just both busted a nut on the way to the Oscars. They're happy. They're gonna drink their champagne. It's all gravy. But Will. Yo, who better off though, huh? Who better off though? Don't nobody want to be Will Smith. Don't nobody want to be the Fresh Prince. I'm just saying, I'd rather be Billy Bob Thornton, bald and everything, B. I wouldn't want to be Will.
Shout out to Mrs. IQ.
I would not want it. Like, she used to think they was the greatest. I used to tell her, you couldn't shut the fuck up about that couple. And how's it? And how it look though? How it look though? It's like so many. I had so many debates. I used to tell her, like, yo, all that shit that we'll be doing, that shit fake, bro. Like that shit is not real. B. He overcompensating. That dude is miserable. Now, hey, I was right. That's all I'm saying. I was right. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. Hey, when I told you that man was miserable, now you can see what I'm talking about. Now the fucking cat is out the bag, and his name is August. All right. Let me read the super chat. Yo, they marriage ain't shit.
That's crazy.
Hey, man, shit. Let me. I just wanted to remind you that I was right. All right, let me read the super chat. Willie Lynch said, "I think every boxing movie takes from the Gentleman Jim." Yeah, but I think Gene Tooney, I think, was in that movie. Jim Corbett was the first box. Oh wait, Jim Corbett. Yeah, I heard about that movie, but I've never seen it. All I'm saying is, when you see a movie like Creed, obviously inspired by Rocky, right? When you see Southpaw, you know that it's a movie that's intended to pull at your heartstrings. Well, Rocky really got the ball rolling for that though, because that was when they made a guy. He's a dumb guy. He's not that smart. But by the end of the movie, you rooting for him, like, yeah, get him, Rock, get him, Rock. You know what I'm saying? That was really, that movie is an innovation, I would say. The same as Rambo, because Rambo, if you watch Rambo, the first Blood, right? There were no other movies like that at the time. Rambo was not an action movie, not the first one. They didn't get Hollywood until the second one and the third one. If you watch the first one, it's a regular y'all should have just left this motherfucker alone. I don't know why y'all.
Jules, you know what I mean? Like the first, like even with the Rocky movies, like the first two were very similar in style, but when it got to the third, that's when they got Hollywood with it.
Exactly. And you could notice it in the filter. You could notice it in the filter. You could notice, like, yo, why Rocky look like a bodybuilder? He don't even look like a boxer.
I mean,
he's
even like the boxing scenes, they were like very cartoonish. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
So I'm gonna say Rocky inspired a lot of different shit, and it's like I said, it's not unusual for that Rocky may have borrowed from a movie that was there before it. We know that Heath Ledger, he borrowed from The Crow, and I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of other movies. Like, look at Quentin Tarantino's movies. He lets you know, the spaghetti westerns, the old Hong Kong flicks, that all of that inspired Kill Bill. Everybody borrows from everybody, and it's not a big deal. To me, it's not a big deal, because when you see how widespread it is, it's like, well, how you gonna complain about that when everybody do that shit? Everybody do that shit. Rocky is that shit, by the way. That's all I'm saying. And on that, I think we all done. I think I've been live for like 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? I think I've been live for like 3 hours. So on that note, everybody,
appreciate you having me on, dude.
No problem, yo.
Have a wonderful night.
Peace out, guys.
By the
Peace
way,
out,
later. One last thing, Will, if you see this, we were just playing, bro. We
I'm gonna go argue with my wife.
All right, yo.